At Progressive, you can get 24/7 protection, even if you break the space-time continuum.
We did it! We time traveled to yesterday!
Wait, Progressive covers us 24/7, but we just created an 8-day week, and it's 24/7 coverage, not 24/8. We gotta go back.
Are you joking right now?
Shh, I'm calling them. Hi, I have a question about time travel.
Progressive offers more than a great price when you bundle home and auto. We offer round-the-clock protection, which literally means anytime. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers, and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Hi everyone, it's Katrina.
Hello.
And with me is Anna. Hanakawa is on assignment, or otherwise working, and we could tell you, but then we'd have to kill you. I don't know. There's some reason why she can't be here. Anyway. Welcome to the Fraudcast. Sorry we haven't been here in like a couple weeks. The show was sucking, and then we were catching up on Love in Paradise, which is what we're covering now, and we're kind of just like all over the place right now, and I do apologize for that, but that's kind of like us, so that's what you get right now. That's what you sign up for to listen for, right? Anyway, so we are going to talk about Love in Paradise. We're going to talk about some 90-day stuff because Anna is the trooper and still watching that shit, even though everybody else in the world hasn't. We got confirmation on happily ever after couples. Angela was being a Karen on an airplane, and Pierre has been returned to home and is not with his parents anymore. So where do you want to start, Anna?
Well, so let's talk. I mean, honestly, like 90-Day Paradise. I mean, this is really good. This is good.
Love in Paradise is some good shit. And I literally just watched 3 episodes in a row. And it's captivating. Now, keep in mind, these episodes are an hour long each, not 2 hours like the other. And so it's not all this recapping and stuff. So it moves along, and there's some shit going on. I mean, we got polyamory. Yes. Then we have polyamory turned not polyamory, and then we have this guy wants polyamory, but they're 2 tops anyway, so they need a bottom. But and then we have, what else do we have? We have the guy who just wants to get laid.
The throuple.
Yeah, that's the polyamory that turns into not polyamory.
Oh wait, but the other guy is polyamorous, the gay guy.
Yeah, and he's trying to be polyamorous because they have 2 tops and no bottom. In that situation.
Oh my God.
So let's talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
That is Carlos and Valentine. Okay. And so Valentine is
just a little
he's American. He's American, and he's polyamorous, and he is the top. This is the biggest crux of their issue, is that he is a top. And Carlos, his beloved from Mexico, or no, was he in Mexico? No, it was Colombia. He's in Colombia. That's right. The girls are in Mexico.
Mexico, yep.
That in Colombia, he's not polyamorous. He is also a top. So the biggest issue they have is that they were both tops, right? This is the first time they're meeting. And they're just going to figure it out. And they're using this as a springboard for the next issue, which is that Val is polyamorous and he wants to bring a third into the relationship. And he says, well, let's bring in a bottom and everything's solved. But Carlos isn't down for all that. And Carlos isn't down for Val's behavior even though it's a gay club, like at the gay bar, right? Dancing and jumping all over people.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Carl. Out of the 2 of them, I like Carlos better. I think Carlos is genuine. He's classier. He has more of something to say, as far as like, he just seems like a more genuine person. The other one is just so set in his ways, so obnoxious.
And he has really bad hair. What's the hair situation happening with him?
I don't know. It's like a weird, like, it comes up too high.
Lego hair. He has Lego hair.
Yeah, Lego hair. So bizarre. But Carlos, I think Carlos, I think, is just trying to, like, he's in love, you know, and being gay, you know, as we say in America, you know, you can do whatever you want here. In foreign country, it's not, it's very much frowned upon. So, you know, he's trying to navigate, you know, this relationship while living in a country where it's not really like, it's accepted in certain cities, but not where he's from.
Right.
And just like from the beginning, from the jump off, they were fighting. They were like, screaming and yelling at each other.
I fail to see what it is that brought these two together. If they're so different in how they approach life, they're so different in how they life. Like, why? What is it that attracts them to each other? How did they fall? What did they fall in love over? When they clearly are very different interests and very different, you know, stations in life. And I don't think that that's like bad on either one of them. They just want different things.
Yeah, I don't. They, you know. This couple, I don't know if it's like they're just very weird. Like
the whole thing is weird, yeah.
And they kind of just don't match. Like there's no like,
yeah,
they don't even like get along.
There's
like,
no chemistry.
Like,
there's,
you know,
they don't get along. They're fighting from the beginning. Like they don't agree on the little things. They don't agree on the big things. Like
exactly.
Like so the fact that both of y'all are tops are sort of like that's the least of y'all's concerns, right?
Exactly.
So that's where we left them, is they were going to some other island that's supposed to be more accepting. And they had this conversation and they got in a big old fight. And
they were fighting from the second he picked him up from the airport with the driving.
Right.
And it was
this most recent fight, he was like, leave me alone, get away from me, leave me alone, blah, 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 blah. What are you eating?
Oh, chicken cutlets. Anyway. Yeah, so,
she's like serving up dinner in front of me on this Zoom call, guys.
I'm trying to multitask. But what was I gonna say? He's just very like, this is my thing. Men in general, and no offense to anyone that's gay, straight, whatever, men in general, we're talking about male as a form of a man. These are very strong alpha male personalities. Now, in general, when you're dating a relationship, you know, gay, straight, whatever, you have to have a yin and a yang. There has to be every pot has a lid, blah, blah. These two are combative. From the first second that we see them on screen, they're fighting with each other. They're like, oh, he doesn't want, like, you know, the other one, like, I don't drink, throws a fit in the hotel room. The other one, you know, giving directions on how to get around Colombia, like, you know, like, shut up. Just like enjoy the moment, enjoy the vacation. Like,
but they can't enjoy each other because there's nothing like neither one of them is bad and neither one of them is wrong. I mean, Val in that hair something's got to change there. But other than that, neither one of them are fine. But like you said, every pot has a lid. These two ain't it. They're both lids. They ain't gonna fit in more ways than one.
No. And I think Valentine is trying to pull the polyamorous card so that he can fuck around, because I don't think he's a loyal person versus I think Carlos is a loyal person, and Carlos is genuinely just looking for love. You know, and
you can't force polyamory on someone just because it's what you want as your get out of cheating free card, because that's not what polyamory is. It is supposed to be about. No. So if that's what you're trying to claim because you just want to get some. Okay.
Yeah, not cool.
Let's move on and dispose of very quickly. I want to say Kara and Guillermo, but it's the same couple on the current season of Love in Paradise. Yeah. It's like the same people, right? It's the exact same couple. It's not really, but they are the exact same people. This most recent episode of the Love in Paradise couple, whatever the hell their names are he's getting mad at her for drinking too much. And it's the same thing that we had with Guillermo and Kara on 90 Day.
Yes, the Florida, the blonde chick. He's from Venezuela, I believe, as well. He's from Venezuela. Oh,
that's how not memorable they are to me.
Amber and damn, what is the guy's name? She's blonde, and then they have the gay roommate coming to live with them, and he's in a flip out.
And that whole thing was fucked up because. Yeah, and she's like, oh yeah, I should have discussed this with him, and she's like, well, you don't pay the mortgage, you don't know how much it costs. So she brings this up in a way that doesn't even make sense, because it's not about that. I mean, yeah, if she needs assistance paying the mortgage, that's not an issue. Talk to your partner about it and say, hey, these are our expenses. These are the things that we have. It would really make sense if we, he needs a place to stay for a little bit. We could use the extra income. It might suck for a while, but what do you think about this? She could have had that conversation with him, but she didn't.
And I don't
Amber and Daniel. That's who it is.
I don't think Daniel's lazy. I think he's bored out of his mind. He wants to work, the poor guy. Yeah. He just can't. I think the paperwork is not going through, and she's just being a dick. And as per usual, here we go again. I'm paying all the money, blah, 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 whatever. You signed up for this. Don't these girls read a disclaimer when they bring somebody over with a K-1 visa that this and this and this and this is going to cost this much? Like, hello?
They're just so stupid.
Like, this is a reoccurring theme. Like, even with Eva Muhammad, like, holy guacamole with these two. Like, what complete douche. He is a douchebag. I mean, I'll get into him in a little bit, but he is a complete and utter douchebag. The way he treats that woman, disgusting.
Care Of is a wellness company that believes you deserve to feel your best this summer. And personally, I do too. From getting outside to enjoying your favorite seasonal dishes to taking a mental break. Care Of is here to help you take care of yourself all summer long. Care Of's convenient individual packets make traveling super easy, so if you have all of these awesome summer trips planned, you can just grab a few, one for each day, and you're gone. Just throw them in your bag, your toiletry bag, and you're done. Your vitamin routine is set even when you're away from home. Care Of is a subscription service that ships high-quality, personalized vitamins, supplements, and powders conveniently to your door every month. You take a short, in-depth quiz about your lifestyle, your health goals, and you get a personalized recommendation that takes all of the guesswork out of deciding what supplements are best suited for you. The daily vitamin packs are made from plant-based, compostable film, so you can stress far less about your impact on the planet. Each shipment comes with a customized booklet that shows you exactly what's in your individual daily packets and why it was recommended specifically for you and your health goals. This is also all available online, which I find very, very helpful if my nutrition and health needs are changing. I personally love the Care Of packets because I do take a lot of vitamins, and this just makes it just makes it a no-brainer, which is particularly great on days that I don't want a brain or I don't want to adult. I just open my little packet, throw it in my medicine thing, and I'm done. It's off. I'm off to the races. It's all good. If you haven't tried Care Of yet, what are you waiting for? For 50% off your first Care Of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code Fraudcast50. That's 50% off your first Care Of order. Go to takecareof.com. That's takecareof.com and enter code Fraudcast50. And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. So you guys, it's summer, and have you taken care of your summer body? I have. It's summer and I have a body, so therefore I have a summer body. But what about your mind? Are you taking care of your mind? Or is that something that you've even given any thought to? How we care for our minds affects how we experience life. So it's really important to make sure that we're investing time and care into keeping it healthy. There are plenty of ways you can support a healthy brain, like learning a new language or taking power naps, which are my favorite way. But there's also BetterHelp online therapy. You guys know I have talked about therapy before, and I will continue to talk about therapy all the time because I think it is so important, especially in this day and age. There's so much that's going on. And with the pandemic coming to a close and with everything else that's going on, maybe you have some health issues like myself with my autoimmune issues. Going to therapy is something that has really, really been a lifesaver for me. And BetterHelp.com is an online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat only therapy sessions. So you don't have to see anybody on camera if you don't want to. This is much more affordable than in-person therapy, which is super important, especially right now as I'm getting ready to send a kid off to college. And you can be matched with a therapist in just under 48 hours. Online therapy is where it's at these days. You don't have to get dressed and go to a place. And like I said, you don't even have to be on camera if you don't want to. It's really fantastic. So if you haven't started therapy yet, what's stopping you? Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/fraudcast. That's betterhelp.com/fraudcast.
You know,
he just wants a green card, and he somehow like dickmatized her, and now she's sprung and willing to do whatever he wants, just so
exactly.
that she is so desperate for love that she thinks that this is real love. Let's go back to let's go back to Love in Paradise. Speaking of this other young American, Danielle and Johan, right? This couple, she is so delusional. She is so delusional, and she's like, all super spiritual, and she's okay. Like, I get wanting to sage, like in a hotel room or something. I get that. But she sages cars before she gets into it. She sages, and she says this like prayer, and she does this whole thing as her cleansing ritual for everything. And she says, I can't eat peanuts because, or the $200 worth of peanuts from the mini bar that you ate.
So staged, by the way, that whole
for real.
I mean,
and she's all, how did he get? I can't eat peanuts because my spiritual guru told me not to. And this whole thing just cracks me up because she's like, okay, I mean, whatever. Like, someone's spirit, I don't get why peanuts, but whatever. To each his own, right?
Exactly.
She says her spiritual people, tell her that when her, and tell her what to do, she follows what they do. When she doesn't follow what they do, her life is miserable. When she does, her life is perfect. Okay, she's following what they're telling her to do to a letter, and her life is far from perfect.
This is like an even Muhammad kind of stuff.
Every single thing about the situation with Johan is ridiculous. Like, he just wants to get laid. He has no idea who she is or what she's about. And all he wants to do is get laid. So he just goes along with whatever. But then this most recent episode of them in his house with his family, it became very clear. We didn't already know this made it explicit that he just wants to get to the US.
Oh, so, yeah. And he tattooed money or something on himself.
Right.
I can't. But
how she's so naive is, I don't know.
Well, this is like a Molly and
Louise situation.
Yeah. Louise kind of thing. She met the vacation booty, the guy at the resort. Guys out there, I mean, no one's judging. You want to date the help, knock yourselves out. But, no one, right. I'm not judging anyone's hustle. But, really, guys, come on.
Don't marry your vacation booty. That's not going to happen. Sherlon and Ariana. That girl,
I was just about to...
I'm so mad at her. She keeps threatening to use the kid to try to force him into quote unquote loving her. And it's not like, if we turns out we're not getting along and he doesn't want this. It's not like she says, okay, well, then we'll just have to figure out how to co-parent together as a non-couple. No. She's like, I'll have to force him to do it. His mom will help me force him to do it. No, that's not the right answer. And threatening to not put his name on the birth certificate? Okay.
Season 1 of this, she showed up in Jamaica pregnant in terrible conditions. I think she did give birth in the United States. I mean, I like this. I like her. She gave the baby up very easily. She brought him to the airport. It was very sweet. Then then we come to find out that he works at a swingers resort, and then he's basically just, having sex.
The way she met him. She thinks that she's somehow different. Well, she did get knocked up, yes, but she is no different than all of the other women he's boning there. And like, she's like, you treated me so nice and made me feel so special. And that's just what he does, right? That's how he romances women in bed. He didn't wrap it up. And now he's stuck dealing with the consequences, but he does not have to marry you, Ariana. He does not have to marry you. You can't force him to love you.
He just doesn't care. He doesn't give a rat's ass about her. And I feel bad for this girl. She seems really sweet. I want to give her Kobe. I swear to God.
Yeah, I think she'll be fine with Kobe. I think she'd be good with Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe is, Kobe's a great guy, like super sweet. Like, him and Emily should just, drown themselves in Jamaica together. I can't.
Right. Yeah. And then, yeah.
Who else?
Speaking of
the throuple.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, let's talk about Emily and Kobe while we're at it. But yeah, the throuple.
The throuple, man. Well, Frankie decided to not show up.
The latest is that Frankie decided not to come, but his friend and his friend's wife did. But they told her, okay, back up.
We got to back up. Hold on. Our ADHD
I'm getting ahead of myself here.
All right, go.
I'm very manic today, right?
Yeah.
People are like, today? How about every day?
Every day. All right, ready, guys?
So there's this lesbian couple, Abby and Gabby. It was very cute. They've been together for like 19 years.
10 years.
Oh, 10 years. 9.5, not 19, but 10 years still. They've been together 10 years.
Wow.
And they met Frankie when Frankie was there on vacation, and they ended up in threesomes, and they had a grand old time, and everything was great. And he went back maybe one other time, but then he kept talking to Abby because Abby also speaks English. Gabby does not.
Abby's also the more attractive of the two females.
You think so?
Just saying. The other one has kind of a hippie-ish vibe. The other one is classically like just pretty. They're both pretty, but I'm saying in the confessional, Gabby her hair looks better, but on the beach and stuff, like on vacation, she looks more hippie, grungy,
too hippie for you.
Rasta looking. Yeah, I mean, I'm just being I'm just thinking like the male mind, like, you know, the other one is more aesthetically attractive to a guy, like, you know.
Wow.
I'm just saying. Not that they're
well,
both
I
not
don't think
cute,
that's the issue. I think the whole thing here. So I think this whole thing is completely made up bullshit because, you know, and there's no way Gabby wasn't in on the whole thing. If this whole thing is real.
I mean,
okay.
that's questionable.
Well, I think, but they could be, whether they're making it, okay, my point being, whether they're making it up for immigration or whether they're making it up for TLC. Or both. I don't know. That's the question for me. But I believe that this female couple, and they got, you know, this, whether they planned it and they tried to snare him or it just happened to work out. They met this guy, Frankie, and then their scheme, so to speak, was that Abby was going to speak with him and get him to propose and fall in love with her, or they either pretend like they're going to do it. They came up with this together. And
like a scandal, which
to get her over and then bring Gabby over. How they were going to bring Gabby over, I don't know, because I'm not sure what immigration status that would be, but like what relationship that would be. But
I mean,
I think the whole thing is bullshit. Abby has a long-term 10-year relationship with Gabby that she's going to throw away for 5 months talking on Zoom with this guy, Frankie.
No,
that's bullshit. Him. That's never in a million years is that the real story.
Well, I find it concerning that he didn't even show up to this. Like, he did not even come, which is like, well, you know, you were obsessed with this girl, you were buying her a ring, blah, 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 all this like mumbo jumbo. And
then he's not showing up because why? Because he doesn't want to do that to them, to their relationship.
You've already done it, motherfucker. Like, but I don't know. I mean, this is making for great TV. I'm very entertained by this.
Yes.
But so
it's also not true.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a crock of shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
As the whole season is pretty much. And then so we covered Danielle and the other one, Johan. We covered, I think we got everybody, right? There's not that many couples on there. Wait, I'm trying to think. We got the polyamorous, the gay guys, the Ariana and Sherlyn. Who else? No, that's it. And then the couple Amber and Daniel were from last season. So yeah that's pretty much it. I mean, it's more entertaining than the regular 90 Day, to be honest with you.
It is.
So I'm enjoying it. And yes.
Let me take a minute to tell you guys about my latest class on Masterclass. So if you don't know what masterclass.com is, you can learn from the world's best minds anytime, anywhere, at your own pace. You can learn how to tell stories, which I took from LeVar Burton, and I've taken some sort of empowerment classes from Robin, who is a Peloton instructor. You can improve your writing. You can improve anything you want. With over 100 classes and a range of world-class instructors, that thing that you've always wanted to do is closer than you think. You guys, my latest obsession right now is cooking flan. So I am looking at all of the cooking instructors that are on Masterclass to teach me how to cook flan. And so I'm very excited. There are so many to choose from. Then I got distracted and I got to watching Gordon Ramsay, and then I got stuck in Gordon Ramsay, and I'm happy to be stuck there for the rest of the month. Or next month, or I don't know, until something else on Masterclass catches my fancy, which it does all the time because there's really so much on here. I just love these things because it's not necessary to sit down and consume a full class from start to finish. You can just sit down for 10 minutes and watch part of it, or a lot of them are broken up into these various segments, and you can just watch a little bit here or a little bit there, which I love before like nodding off to sleep, or when I'm getting ready to try a new recipe, I can just pull it up and look, or they inspire me to try new recipes, and then I'm grocery shopping, and then it's a whole thing, and I could get lost in this all day, and I in fact often do. So I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every masterclass. As a Fraudcast listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. That's an entire year. Go to masterclass.com/fraudcast now. That's Masterclass, masterclass.com/fraudcast for 15% off Masterclass. Are you one of the 30 million women that are impacted by weekend or thinning hair? If you are among them, like myself, then know that you're not alone, and know that there is a solution that you can trust to deliver results. Thousands of women have taken back control of their hair with Nutrafol, with many users raving that the supplement not only transformed their hair, but restored their confidence too. It's amazing how hair does that, right? Like, just gives us this sense of confidence that I'm feeling a lot as I'm growing my hair out more, and the Nutrafol is really, really helping me in that regard. Nutrafol offers 2 targeted formulas for women that are clinically shown to improve hair growth and thickness with less shedding through all stages of life. So that means it's not going to end up on your hairbrush or down the drain as nearly as much as it was before. Healthier hair growth does take time. You'll begin to experience thicker, stronger, faster growing hair in 3 to 6 months. In a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after 6 months. And you guys, I've been on it for about that long, and it's definitely working for me. More than 1,500 top doctors recommend Nutrafol as an effective and high-quality solution for healthier hair. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering promo code FRAUDCAST to save $15 off your first month subscription. And this is their best offer anywhere and is only available to United States customers for a limited time. Plus, you get free shipping on every order. Get $15 off Nutrafol.com, that is spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code FRAUDCAST. All right, let's pivot over to regular 90 Day.
So we got some tell-all gossip. So Kara's knocked up, Thais is knocked up, and...
Yes, we discussed that last week.
Yes, and the other one had the child. But this episode is when we find out that she's pregnant.
Oh, right. Okay.
So she takes him out and she says, "Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Babe." You know how she talks? Babe. With her lip.
With her lip.
"Babe, we gotta run an errand for the wedding." So they go to a pharmacy and they buy a pregnancy test and they decide to take it inside the bathroom. And what do you know? It's positive.
Uh-huh.
And he is beside himself because he's just like, what am I doing? Your father told us not to get knocked up while we're in here. And blah,
how
blah,
did this
so
happen?
like,
and blah, blah, blah.
he just basically, according to her ovulation app that she has on her phone, because she's not on birth control, it was okay for him to bust a nut inside her.
Right.
So that's the method of birth control that they use.
Don't use this as a method of birth control, okay? It's not predictable, okay?
No, but I'm saying Kobe, you know, honestly, he's a great guy. I would procreate with him any day of the week. But however, you know, and then she's just an asshole. Like, I just don't like her. Like the ring whole situation, the wedding gown, she's such a little brat. Like,
yeah, she's an entitled brat.
To just go to an island together and just shoot yourselves. Like, ugh, like they're just so annoying. And then Thais, did you see the episode where Thais was trying to cook for him and John spit the food out?
No.
Okay, so Thais the underlying thing is Thais is trying to marry Patrick behind her father's back. So she's not, her father doesn't like him. So she's trying to marry Patrick without dad finding out. So basically, she's like, let's go to Vegas. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then Patrick's like, no, I want to, that's where you marry a stripper. Like, I want to, you know, marry you the right way, blah, 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 blah. But she's like dodging this, like, father, telling the father. So John, of course, big mouth John, and I love him for that. He is probably the best person on the season. I think, you know, he's hilarious. His one-liners, I mean, he's already memes and stuff. Like, John is hands down my favorite this season because he's funny and he's real. So shout out to John.
Boston John.
What did he? Boston John. Gotta give it to you know, a guy like that. You know, he reminds me of everybody I grew up with. That's how we talk. Ruthless. He's like, you know, like, you're not gonna tell her. You know, you're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do that. And Thais is like, no, blah 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 blah. And then she proceeds to cook him some concoction with chicken, mustard, ketchup, and then John puts the.
Yeah, I heard that there was some. I saw somebody's post about how it was like, okay, like a lot of those things, it's a traditional Brazilian thing, blah 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 blah, but they didn't show half the ingredients you're supposed to use, and she had clearly had access to them because she had other Brazilian food. Like, anyway, that it wasn't shown correctly on TV.
John basically, John puts it in his mouth, and then she turns around and he spits it the fuck out. It was the funniest thing I have ever seen in my life. And I just knowing, you know, whatever I know about him, and, you know, I think that was completely real. I really do believe that he's probably the only genuine person on the show. So shout out to him for making these one-liners. The other scene with him in the tuxedo shop with him, and he said he has impeccable. He's trying to say impeccable taste, but he uses a word that doesn't go, and in the subtitles it's in quotes. It's like impetuous taste. He says, I have impetuous taste, and I'm like, oh my god, like, he's hilarious. So he's, you know, trying to suit his brother up, whatever, and then basically, like, John is just has his back. Like, you know what, Patrick, you can be a little bit of a pussy. Like, no offense to Patrick, because I think Patrick is a really nice guy, and she's an asshole, but. You know, John's, there has to be some type of there has to be, you know, John's like the angel and the devil on both sides of it. Like, he's like telling him, like, you know, I think he supports his brother and the relationship, and he wants them to be happy. But at the same time, he's like, yo, bro, like, wake the fuck up, which is like a very noble thing to do, because, you know, he sees what he sees. You know, that's his brother. You know, so It is what it is, you know, but I'm not a fan of her. She was very bratty the last episode too. She was complaining about the makeup artist, how Patrick pays for everything. And Patrick wakes up and takes care of her. He cooks breakfast for her. Like, she's useless. Like, at least if you're going to bring over a Brazilian hot girl, like, at least have her be able to fucking boil you an egg. Jesus Christ, bro.
Damn.
God. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Some feelings.
Yeah. No, it's just funny, you know, as a single woman who's out there, you know, in the dating world, and I see these girls who are like, you got nothing to offer except your fucking pussy. Like, do something for the guy. Wash his fucking underwear. Do something. maybe, you know, if you don't know how to cook, at least clean the kitchen, at least attempt to do something. I mean, she tried to
at least maybe don't be a bitch. That's what I you know, it's like your division of labor in your house is up to you. It's a personal individual thing up to each couple, like how you divide that labor. I'm all like, whatever works for you guys, right? And it can be revisited and changed depending on needs and stuff. But at the very least, just don't be an asshole, right? Like, and that's just general. Like, I think the guy. What I was noticing so much, I mean, and I don't know, I mean, this wasn't something new that I noticed. This is just what I was thinking about today as I was watching, is that so many of these couples, like they don't have respect for their partner. No. You know, I mean, it's one thing to be different, and it's one thing to be completely different from each other and to not speak the same language, and, you know, translator apps or this and that, or, you know, it's my culture and this and that, but at least respect where your partner is coming from. And these people just don't respect each other, like, at all. But it's primarily if it's off kilter, it's always off kilter in the sense that the American has less respect for their partner than the other way around.
Yeah, and you know, that's a big thing. And I also feel like even Muhammad too is, you know, I'm watching a lot of Danielle and Muhammad like remix type of, like, the way he speaks to her. He's very condescending. He's very nasty to her. She's a wonderful person, Eve. I applaud her. She's a single mom. She has a son who requires tons of attention, special needs. You know, I live this world every day of my life. Any parent, you know, I can't even imagine, you know, what they go through, because it's difficult for me at work, let alone to have this 24/7 as your reality, you know. And then you have this asshole comes from Egypt. He's like, I'm going to get paid.
Who's like 12 years old, telling you how to,
you know, like, you know, and like, I can't. He threatened that he was going to get another sponsor. What are you going to do? Walk down in Tucson, Arizona, and go find somebody to sponsor you?
Start knocking on doors.
Who the fuck are you? Like, he is. I thought I liked him in the beginning, but he's literally going in the Bilal pit soon.
The Bilal pit. Is that Bilal, like a ball pit? But the Bilal pit. Oh my God, there's a meme. There's a meme right there. Somebody please do a meme that's a ball pit, but it's Bilal.
Emily. Bilal goes in there along with Emily.
Emily goes in there. Lots of people
and Jabri. So
what are the Pink Princess Cowboy Twins up to these days?
The cosplay Liberace's. They're just fighting with his parents. They don't want to live in the house. You know, blah, blah. She wants her beach wedding. They're doing it for the gram. Like Danielle said, you know, OG Danielle is like, just doing it for Instagram
when followers. She was on the show. Episode 100, amazing guest host, Danielle Jabali.
Yes. So Danielle is she was on the money with that. They're just using them for followers. I fast forward through them. Cara and Guillermo, I like better. I like Guillermo better than Cara, even though he's supposedly the child of the relationship. He's a lot more mature than she is. She's they went from a wedding that was little to a 40-person wedding to make it more special. So that was their thing. And basically, I can't think of anybody else. Who else is on the show? I'm kind of like Eva Muhammad. We talked about them.
What's going on with Bilal? With Bilal and
again with the prenup and the mother and the ex-wife and blah blah blah. Like, cry me a river. Like, this season just ends. Like, where's the towel? I want to see the fights. Like, let's go. Like, let's boogie. You know what I mean?
Well, okay. So speaking of that, we have the confirmations for the couples on Happily Ever After. Jovi and Niara, what do you think?
I like them. Okay. I like her better than him. He's a little bit of a moron, but I'm okay with it. Libby and Andre, I could have done that away with, because they're like, how many seasons of them can we really see their stupidity? Angela's still
Big Pred and Liz.
I'm not covering them. I hate him. I can't stand him. He's disgusting. Okay. I mean, you can talk about him, but
no, you know, we don't talk about him. I'm not going to watch this.
We don't talk about it.
Oh, and then Sumit and Jenny. No, I can't
Jenny?
handle. No. And there's like none of I don't. There's so many. I know so many bloggers and podcasters that are like. I know I've already said that I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to cover it. Love in Paradise is far more entertaining.
UK might. I mean, do we have access to that? Is it being
I don't think we have access to UK, but we'll cover other stuff. But there's so many bloggers and podcasters that are considering just not covering it at all because it's just that bad. And this season of 90 Day was one of the worst on record, and for a lot of reasons. Not just the fakeness of it, but just the uninteresting. That was all boring.
It's losing its touch. I think it's losing its sparkle.
Lost its sparkle.
It's lost its sparkle with Jabri's fucking cowboy boots. That's what happened.
That took all over the sparkle.
I mean, but
Love in Paradise is really good, and we'll continue to cover that. I know.
And Angela's back. I think Angela's got a new.
Speaking of Angela. Somewhere. She was on an airplane ranting about something, and to be honest, I didn't.
She was being a Karen, basically.
She was complaining to the flight attendants about something.
Wow.
She was all like up in arms. I didn't watch it. I'm sorry, you guys. I like give me new blood, give me fresh meat.
Michael's still not here. Michael is still in Africa, being African.
She's gonna fly to Nigeria again, right? So last time we spoke with you guys, Pierre was still missing of Paul and Creany's son, one of their two kids, Ethan and Pierre. Ethan was safe. Paul had taken Pierre and was on the run with him for several days. Was the last update. Since then, Pierre has been turned over to authorities. Is in the state hands right now, is in custody of a foster or something in the system, away from both Paul and Creany. No idea what's going on with either Paul or Creany because I really just don't give a fuck about either of them at this point. I think Paul did an interview on the Dom Natty show. If you guys are interested, I didn't watch it because fuck him, but so there we are. And I don't know any further information on the situation with the whole Paul Creany thing. The kid is safe, and that's where my knowledge of it ends. So
there's two of them, isn't there? Two boys?
Yeah, they have two boys, but the first one was already in custody, in the state's custody. Yeah. Ethan was already in state's custody. Paul took off with Pierre, and as far as like all the specific details, I have no idea because he was telling stories to every different podcaster, every blogger, every newspaper, like everything, and that we're all different. And
basically, he's a basket case, and we're no longer.
So yeah, and
wow.
So I think that's all we got for you today, right?
Yeah, I think this is it, guys. I mean, Tell-All, I'm hoping is a little better.
But we don't know when that's coming.
I mean, what are we in the 14th episode? Are we almost done, maybe? Like, I would say two more. Well, now we're starting with the weddings. So the weddings and then the Tell-All. So I'm going to say August, we're going to see Tell-Alls, right? So hopefully
we just got the announcement for the new Happily Ever After, but that I don't know what would be next. Maybe another Before the 90 Days would be the next one after that. I'm not sure what they're planning on springing on us, but they always do. They always they never give us a break anymore. There used to be like a lapse in time between the seasons. There's not anymore. And there's always an overlapping one. Chantel and Pedro. Let me talk about those for a minute. So he allegedly filed divorce papers. Now, I personally have not gone and checked the records. I just trusted whatever, assuming they are real divorce papers that were filed. I highly suspect. I'm suspect of it. Everything they do is for publicity. I don't watch the family Chantel, and I don't really follow them, so I don't know what their alleged fight or breaking point was at this point. But I'm very highly suspect of it. Like the divorce will never actually happen. They won't go through with it. Like whatever. If it was actually real. But that's what's out there. And I know I'm not alone in that thought. Like it's out there. Everybody's.
Oh, did you see Larissa posted something about having botched plastic surgery?
Mm-mm.
She posted a bunch of photos about herself, how she's like being awareness of being botched and this and that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And like, apparently her whole stomach was completely botched. So if you guys have if you're interested, you can see Larissa's botched plastic surgery story. I mean, she's still trying to get some clout.
Fun.
I mean, yeah. I mean, whatever. I mean, the first world problems. I mean, you know. But that's it. I mean, and Angela is, I think, like, again, single on this. I don't know why they keep putting her on. He's not here yet. Like, how many seasons of them being on FaceTime are you going to watch?
I'm so over everybody. Benny and Ari. We didn't talk about them because there's nothing to talk about, right? Anyway.
Like, that's a stage thing, too. Like, Leandro, come on. Like, let me go with my ex-husband. Let me go with my future wife's ex-husband to buy pregnancy tests. Whacked.
But he's my best friend. He's my best friend. Okay.
I love him. I love him.
I love him. I mean, he's my best friend.
The baby is adorable. He's adorable. So
yeah,
that's the only saving grace. The baby and little dog that Thais has.
The babies and the animals are usually my favorite characters of the show, and that continues to be the case.
Yeah.
So there it is, you guys. We sped through everything. We covered it all. But thank you for tuning in to this episode, and we will hit you back up with Hannah Collin next time. Bye.
Bye.